Alrighty, here we are, starting the 1970 Austrian Grand Prix at the Österreich Ring in our Ferrari 312B as Jackie X. So Jackie X won this race in real life, henceforth I figured that I would use his model. Maybe I might be able to replicate some luck starting down in 10th, but of course the field is nowhere near what it was because we have Jochen Rindt behind us, and Jochen Rindt qualified first for this Grand Prix in his low Ford, the dominant car of that year. And of course, very unfortunately losing his life in the next race after this at Monza, where they decided to take the rear wing off. But focus forward here, as we've got a gaggle of cars in front of us on our way down to the Bosch curve for the first time. The most famous corner on the track, probably by some margin. Downhill, right-hander, massive camber on the inside there, and if you get it right, you will just slingshot yourself so far around this corner. But if you got it wrong, you're going through that arm car and you're going down the hill, or you're going into the grandstands before the downhill. So Jackie Stewart in front of us, coming through the Texaco chicane. Obviously not a chicane, but a double left-hander. Don't know why they called it a chicane, but they did. Get a little run on him and come through the second left of the Texaco, and then the right down the hill towards Jochen Rindt corner. Now there's something that I couldn't find out about this track that I really want to find out, and that's whether this corner here was called Jochen Rindt corner in the 1970 race, or whether it was renamed Jochen Rindt after he posthumously won the world championship. Because I can't imagine that they would call it Jochen Rindt before the race, but he was Austrian, so I don't know. So come through Hellelish for the second time, got Jackie Stewart in front of us. Oh, and a car off in front. Oh, and nearly running up the back end of Jackie Stewart. Taking to the grass for good measure. Slowing right down. Not sure who that is on the left of me, but having to slow right down for them. Could be John Love. And then slow right down. Come through Tirok corner for the second time. And power. Ooh, oversteer on the exit. Gonna give Jackie Stewart the run of me down the straight towards Bosch, but should have the power advantage in our Ferrari. So driving the HSS Ferrari 312B, as I said, but it's another unreleased HSS mod that I wanted to check out. It's a little bit less refined than the BRM that I drove last video, but still a decent mod. And as I said last video, anything historic is always going to be good, as there aren't a lot of sim studios really pushing the boundaries with old historic racing. I think you look through the ranks and you got GPL. If Grand Prix Legend still holds up to this day, you know that we don't have enough content. But it does a good enough job. It's just a little bit, the force feedback's a little bit bumpy on these straights, and the wheel was a bit heavy when it shouldn't have been. I felt like force feedback was probably my biggest issue with this mod, but I think it's like a 0.6 version or something or other. It's definitely not a 1.0 version, so I'm not going to complain. But getting the run on Jackie Stewart up the hill towards Hellelicht. Well, I thought we had the run anyway, but we'll drop down a gear flat out. Just need that little bit of rotation from fourth, then back up into fifth on our way up to Dr. Tirok. Getting real close on the radar there. And into Dr. Tirok we go. Can I brake a little bit later? No, it doesn't look like it. But we'll use the camber of the corner as much as we can to pull ourselves around it. The start of the camber anyway, then the exit camber pushes you away from the corner. It's for a track with not a lot of corners, it's definitely a fun race. I think I always use this track as a testing grounds for historic mods or new releases. I think that lack of corners, the straights, it's just nice and easy to figure out gear ratios and whether the mod actually itself is good or not. There's enough detail in the track especially just to figure it out. But come into Texaco chicane once more with the left-hander. Need to start making a little bit of ground on Jackie Stewart if we're going to push past P10, because we've been stuck here for a couple of laps now and I'm not loving it. We'll come through the second left-hander. on our way down to Rint Corner. So pretty impressive that this track is still here to this day. I think it shows a testament of time. One of the only tracks that is still on the current calendar, I believe. Of course, with Formula 1 going more and more towards street circuits and new made-up tracks that aren't purpose-built, it's probably not that surprising that this is one of the only ones left standing. I'll get a run on Jackie Stewart. Should be able to take him up the hill this time. We've got a massive run alongside, but he just seems to have the grip out there on the left that I don't. He is, he's running groove tyres as well. I don't know. He's just got a little bit more grip out there than I do. But we'll press up on the hill towards T-Rock once more. I just need to change it up. I need to find a way around him. Maybe go on the outside of the corner instead of the inside, or just get my nose in somewhere where he's not looking to make the move stick. As we get a massive run now, so great exit out of T-Rock. Unfortunately, my gear's bogging me down just now, but let's see if I can hang it around the outside of Bosch. Looks like we've got the move pretty well done. Just got to keep my foot in it here. The camber will drag me around the corner. Put my foot in it. Oh, not quite. I think I know where I'm going to get the move done though. Next lap, that should be the spot that I try. You're never going to get him around the outside here, but he has opened up the inside. Is he going to close it? Oh, not quite. But he'll outbrake me every single time into the second left. So try once more. All right, up the hill, over the crest, down towards Rint Corner. Once more we go. Oh, massive run on him here. As long as I can brake later, I should be able to get ahead and stay ahead. And I think I'm going to. Yeah, I definitely am. I don't know what happened there, but he slowed right down. So now I've just got to get through Hella Licht unscathed, and that's move done. 5 laps to go out of 10. Alright, we got Rolf Strommelen in front of us in a not entirely sure which car. Could be a BRM or a March, I think. But finally flat through Hella Licht for the first time. So definitely should not have a worry about Jackie Stewart in my rear view mirrors. Should just be able to look forward from now. As we'll come into Dr. T-Rock once more. And the first time unscathed, really be able to use the whole banking on the inside and run out as wide as I possibly can. And shift as late as possible into fourth. And leave it in fourth all the way down the hill towards Bosch. Downshifting and then using all of the inside of the track as you can, getting as close to that curb and slingshotting yourself out to the exit of the corner. Careful not to overshoot, and then downshifting just after the 100 board and trying to hug the inside of the corner as much as you can. Track really wanting to throw you off to the outside with the camber, and the same deal through here. A little bit more camber on the inside that you can use, but it goes against you through the second right here, and it really wants to spit you out to the left there. Careful not to do so. And then on our way down to Jochenrindt, which is not really cambered too much, but the second half is, and it will slingshot you around, so you just need to get back on his throttle as soon as possible. And then start finish line. So closed in about a second on the car in front. Come through Hella Licht once more and see if we can make any ground this lap. Yeah, chicane on the right there, unused in 1970s, but was added in the late 70s, I believe, and slowed the cars from when they were like really heavy turbos right down. There's a lot of accidents at this track in that period. Very fast track with not a lot of braking really. Majority of the cars, as soon as they started to really have downforce, could handle a lot of the corners at speed, and you didn't really need to brake too much, especially the Bosch curve. That was very infamous for having crashes into the grandstand or off to the side of the track after the grandstand. So making a lot of progress on the cars in front, finally starting to close up on the rear end of it. Not really sure what it is. Could be a March from back here, but I'm not really sure. But we'll come through the left-hander of the Texaco chicane once more on our way down the hill, and see if we can get a move done at the end of the lap. We're not going to be able to do it any earlier, I don't think. Come through the second left of it. Still not really sure what that car is in front, but we'll try and find any significant markings. Alright, coming alongside now. I'm still not seeing anything that I can really determine what it is. Looks like a BRM almost, but I don't think it is. As we'll come through the last corner and up the hill towards Hellelicht once more. We got Strommelen on the left of me. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Rolf Strommelen. Which means that he might be in a Brabham, I believe. I think he's in a Brabham. It could be a privateer Brabham. So, Strommelen in a Brabham on our way up to Tirok once more. We need to make a little move. We've got a couple of laps left to get any sort of progress. It's just a great track to drive, really. I have so much fun driving this track, and it's a little bit hard to get the AI racing here. I had to download a new AI line. They like to have a moment on the start, and but once you get them off, they're good. And the AMS2 version of this track is very, very good as well. And often how I judge cars on that game as well. So we'll come through Bosch once more. Still sort of staying in limbo with Strommelen, about the exact same distance from where I was last lap. Maybe a little bit closer. Looks like we got a BRM up ahead of him. So we need to make this move now if we're going to get any further up the grid. Needs to be in the next couple of corners. Alright, let's see if I can just take this next corner a little bit flatter than we have. And we've pulled up on his gearbox. Just need to be braking later, which is really hard to do, I found, with the Assetto Corsa AI. They always seem to have more grip when it comes to braking, but he's off on the off camber side, not on the on camber side, so we will close up on our way into Hellelicht. Alongside now, once again though, I just need to put my foot in it more through Hellelicht, make the move stick. It's the only chance that I've got. That I have to brake. I have to brake, or I'm just going to go straight into the rear end of him. But still pulling alongside, got a little bit of slipstream there. Might be able to get a run in Tirok. But we're going to be on the outside of the corner, which means that if he brakes later, he's always going to get that corner. So, hang it out around the outside as much as I can, put my foot in it. Let's see if I can run him up the hill, and I have. Got him around the outside. Well, that was a nice move. Alright, so Jackie Oliver in his BRM up ahead, I think. 2 laps to go. Let's see what I can do with the other HSS mod. So, good to see both mods running so well in tandem, considering both are unfinished. Very excited to see what comes of whether they do any other 1970s cars. It's always cool to see niche F1 cars. So, I know they've got a McLaren on the way as well, a 1972 McLaren on the way. But that's for another day. We'll push on out through to the second left of the Texaco chicane. I've closed up quite a lot now. Only a couple of more corners left in the lap. Let's see if I can take this nice little line through there. I'm going to be turning in quite early so that the camber doesn't throw you off to the left side of the track there. Now braking as late as I can into Jochen Rindt. Oh, nearly making contact with him for good measure, but I had that move nearly, so it shouldn't take me too long to get in front of who I believe is Jackie Oliver. Am I right? I'm not right. Okay, well, it's a BRM nonetheless. We'll come up the hill under Hellelicht. I think he might have just a touch more straight line speed than I do, but well, it definitely looks like it. But I also did brake there as Ralph Strommelen's coming up for the inside of me. Broke way too much there, and we've got the fuel light on as well, so a lot of things going on right now. I need to now make 2 moves in 1 lap. Oh, massive bit of sideways action there. Don't know how I caught that, but I did, thankfully, and we'll keep going on our way down to Bosch. I've got 2 moves to make now. I only had 1. Whoa! I get all out of shape there. Get brake checked massively by Strommelen. I don't know what he was thinking there, but ooh, that was dangerous. But we'll put our foot in it again and head into the Texaco chicane once more. I think I know where I can start to overtake some of these cars now. Best part about the AI is they repeat the same behaviours every lap, so if you get the move done one lap, you can probably do it again the second lap. But we're going to send it up the inside this time. No room for error, although he's going to have the corner here, but we're a lot closer heading into Rint. I definitely think Rint is an overtaking corner. You just need to be daring on the brakes, which I am this lap. Letting off the brake there for a second, just to jolt the car in, put my nose in a little bit more. Now right on the back of the BRM as well, getting a run, and I've got him done before Hella Licht as well, as long as this gear change doesn't bog me down too much. And it hasn't really, but he's got the speed on me. Put my foot in it as much as I can, but it's never going to happen. Car off in front, yellow flags, nothing happened thankfully. Would have been dangerous if it had. Last lap. Coming up to T-Rock. See what position we get at the end of the race. Oh, as Rolf Stromlin's just sent it up the inside of me. Didn't see that. And there's BRM off in front. Whoa. So much happening on the last lap. Wow. Okay. Getting held up by the second BRM there. Didn't really feel like I could go for the move there. So this might be Jackie Oliver. And if it's not Jackie Oliver, then it's Pedro Rodriguez. So 2 BRMs. In one lap. Oh, as we get squeezed to the outside of the track. All happening on the last lap. We'll come through Bosch for the last time. And power out of it as much as we can. See what we can do into the Texaco. Right alongside the second BRM now. Alright, can we make a move? No, we can't. Alright. Looks like, what are we? P6 or P7 now. So put our foot in it into the second left of Texaco. Oh, and we've made contact. We've made contact with the second BRM. Don't want to see that. I think that's going to be us holding station. We're nearly out of fuel anyway, so probably easing off a bit and know that this is our final position. So come through Rint for the last time on our way down to the start-finish line to complete the 1970 Austrian Grand Prix. That was an intense last lap, I gotta tell you, that was intense. Yeah, so this is Jackie Oliver in front of me now. Okay, so anyway, we'll do a out lap, which I thought was still, I thought this was our last lap, I think, in the race, so I was still full throttle. But we'll go back to the pits and we'll see where we finished. Alrighty, so here we are at the results page. I ended up finishing in 7th with Rolf Stromlin finishing behind me, and then up ahead we had Jackie Oliver, Joe Sifford in his March, Henry Pescarolo in his Matra, John Miles in what I believe was a Lotus Forward, and then Jochen Rindt ending up finishing 2nd somehow, so doing well in his home race. Chris Amon in 1st, and then you had Jackie Stewart 10th, someone that I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, in 9th, and yeah, that was a pretty intense race. Good couple of last laps. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one.